Okay, that went good. Now we can come back over here. I'll set up the platform so I can get a little mass off of here. Okay. This little billet's really good for getting into these little areas that here, setting up your platforms so that you can get the angles that you want. Little hammer stones like this, they work out pretty good too. A lot of this platform preparation, that's what takes up a lot of the time. The big flake removals are the fun part. They don't take very long, but getting everything set up, that does take a while. Drop down to a little smaller bopper here. Okay, so that face is getting pretty nice and clean. There's a little area right in here where I can see that a previous flake caused a little step fracture in there. I'm going to go over here. I got some mass over in this area. When I get a large area like that, kind of a continuous platform, what I like to do is, well, I'm going to back up there. See, right here I need to get this off before I go any further. Again, you want to keep the ends a little bit thinner all the time. There's definitely a nice little ridge for a flake to follow here. It won't be a massive flake, but it'll remove enough mass that, well, it might be massive. Should go well across. Okay. Okay, we isolated that a little bit. Now we can get a really nice big one over here if all goes well. I like to support it on my leg. This is in contact here to absorb the shock, so that when I hit it, you're not creating a lot of shock to the piece. But I like the area where the flake is going to terminate over in here and have nothing in contact with it. So kind of a weird flake there. I'm not sure what caused that. I guess it hit a little area there and it shot off up along the area there. But that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Now we can probably come over here and do a little more thinning down over in this area. Okay, again, I'm going to start right here, create a flake, which will create a ridge for the following flake. Maybe we'll get like 2 or 3 of them out of here. Before I do the next one, I'm going to come over in here and drive one back. I do that whenever I get these tiny little step fractures. It's safer because the next flake could be terminated short because of that. So come over here, braid it. Okay. Here's our edge right here. I think we can get some nice flakes in here. I need to braid that a little bit more. I got that bad area right there. If I try to drive a flake off in there right now, this is going to create problems with it, so don't want to do that just yet. What I'll do is probably, I can see I got a little more mass, I'll drive another couple, then I can get deeper in here and undercut that. If you don't undercut it far enough, and it's kind of hard to know just how deep to go, you get problems. And if you get a problem like that, it'll take a lot more work to correct it than it is to just deal with it right in the first place when you see that it potentially could create a problem for you. That's spread out nicely. I think there's one more there. Tiny one here. I'm going to try for this. I'm hitting it down more, not trying to drive it in, and higher up on the platform to undercut that. Got part of it. Okay, we undercut all that. And that was a lot easier way to deal with it than to wait until it's a more serious problem. Okay, so what do we got here? This face is getting pretty flat. I'm kind of forgetting to use that ivory. I'm going to give that a shot here in a minute. I'm going to take some flakes off in this direction to bring the platform up closer to this face right here, where I want to remove this mass out here in the middle. And I like to use the center plane idea. A lot of nappers don't do that, but it's always worked for me. And kind of visualize the center plane in here, where my finished piece is going to be, and what is sticking out the furthest away from that center plane. That's what you want to deal with at any point in time. So there's a number of different ways of looking at it, whatever works. So I'm going to bevel this back. A lousy platform there. That ain't right. I need to go more over here so I can get my ridges started out. Drop down to the smaller. Really hitting straight down into it here. I don't want a long flake. Okay, that's good. When you're making these platforms, it's important to keep abrading. Don't just keep banging on it, because if I keep hitting on that without abrading like I did, even though I'm removing smaller flakes, what will happen is you'll get little steps and hinges in the platform itself, which creates a very weak platform. So you want to avoid that. Take a series of flakes, if that's what it takes, to turn that edge back over toward the face that you want to remove your massive flakes from. Just a small one right here. We're working our way toward this heavy area. I think we've got it now. I'm not trying to drive it all the way across here. That's too risky for something like this. I like it to go right about 2/3 of the way. Again, press it down on the pad, reduce the shock, get a good seating. And that was nice. It removed that area there. This area here, adjacent to it now, right in here, it's a little bit too much mass. So I need to eyeball it, kind of, remember, abrade it before you do that. I don't want to crush the edge. I want to turn the edge.